The Smith & Wesson Victory Model 38 caliber revolver. This is another interesting World War II military surplus gun. I picked this up at an auction, at a local auction here, about a month or so ago. I remember when these came in, I think when the British were selling off in the 80s all their military surplus rifles, and I think that's when these came into the country. And they're kind of interesting in a way. I was never interested in them much because what the gun is it's a Smith & Wesson model 1905 hand ejector. And this gun has the older style pencil barrel and front sight and arrangement. And basically what this revolver eventually evolved to over the years is the Model 10, which is one of the most common 38 military and police service revolvers ever made. They're nice guns, solid built guns. When the war broke out, everybody was short of arms and munitions. So England was making its Enfield number 2s, and they just couldn't keep up with the demand, so they started purchasing from foreign countries, the United States, revolvers that would suit their needs, and this is one of them. This one was purchased by the British because it is in a 38 200 caliber. That's what the British standard pistol round was at the time. And if you look up in Small Arms of the World, you will find this gun listed as secondary issue service revolver. And they have diagrams and descriptions of it. This gun also was ordered by the U.S. military because there was a shortage, specifically the Navy. The Navy had a couple contracts for these revolvers, but the difference is those would be in 38 special, where this is not. And what you'll find is all of these Victory models or all these guns look identical, more or less, and they come either in 6, 5, 4, and in some rarities a 2-inch barrel. So you'll find them in different barrel lengths and in the basic 2 calibers. Also, these pistols were used by the Australians, New Zealand, South Africans, so you can find markings on here. There's a bunch of fellas on YouTube, I think up in Canada and that, if you look down on the butt, or some of them are marked on the Navy ones I think are marked on the back strap, you'll have all these different markings. So it kind of opens the door if you want to specialize and collect this type of gun. Got a lot of variations. This particular model was made for England. The reason I know that is because it's in, you look in there, you can see the short chambers. It is in the 38 200 caliber. And when I slug the bore, it comes out to about 360, 361, somewhere in there. So this is for the 38 Smith & Wesson, other than the bore slugged like a 357, that would be for the 38 special. I tried to highlight some of the markings on it, and we'll go over it. It's basically a 6-shot standard revolver, standard Smith. Push the cylinder release, and then that's how you eject the cases. So, and it is single double action, okay, which some of the troops and the commandos kind of like that better than the double action only Enfield number 2 Mark 1. I tried to highlight some of the markings, so we'll take a better look at that. Okay, you have your standard Smith & Wesson logo here on the frame. On top of the barrel, you have the patent 2-line address. On this side, Smith & Wesson, then the caliber, 38 Smith & Wesson cartridge, kind of also an indicator. And then over here it says Made in the USA. And you'll find them with U.S. property, U.S. government. There's all kinds of different variations. And this one here is Made in the USA, is what is on this particular gun. This does not have, the V was for the serial number, the V for Victory. This does not have the serial number range with a V prefix. It just has a standard serial number on this side here of the butt. And then on this side, there is a flaming ball and a WB stamped on that, which I don't know if you can see it or not, but the WB stands for Waldemar Bromberg, and the P in the flaming ball is the proof mark that this gun is acceptable for military service. That's about the only marking on there. And I think inside the frame, yes, inside the frame it's 7.91. It's hard to read. There's an A, and that would be down in there. In here there's a marking there which I think might be a British proof mark. Hold on a second, let me get a look at it. Okay, sorry about that, I was unprepared, but it looks like 7.9168 and an A stamped in there somewhere. I don't know what those markings mean. I don't know if they're proofs of the British style. The British would stamp these with a proof or something of their own whenever they were redone or checked into service. But that's about it on that one. It's a nice gun, you know, full-size pistol, and we'll see how it shoots with the 38-200 cartridge. And this one here is in pretty nice condition. I've seen them a little bit more beat up. I don't know if this was refinished at one time or not. The grips are fairly worn on it, so it probably was reworked at one point in time. But also a nice mil surplus gun, an old gun, older style revolver, if you're into that and like that. Like I said, I've seen them in the past. I never really kind of latched on to one, but now that I have the Enfield, I'll be making ammunition for it, so I kind of just on an impulse bought this gun to add it in the collection, and now we can move on and make videos on reloading for it. And I'd like to take this out and see, compare it to like a 38 Special. You know, like our government used them in 38 Special. So I like to see the difference in the handling of the gun itself. So there you go, another mil surplus gem that we're going to be working with and making some ammo for.